Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show live here on this game day Wednesday here as we are heading to Auburn, Alabama this morning. Compliments of Miller's RV. We are loading up in a Sprinter this morning. I got Ronnie Ranch jumping in there.
Oh, God.
Who's going to take up 3. He's paying for the gas, him and Casey McKenzie.
Oh, McKenzie's with you, too?
Yeah, bro.
Jeez, what a crew you got.
And then my crew. And then I got Little Jay, Kelly, and my old man. And we got enough seats, right?
Yeah, it's a Sprinter van.
Yeah, but Rance and McKenzie, that's
No,
a
they
big
just get
dudes.
row, and then you're good. You're good.
You better get that gas money in advance.
Lil Jay's going to get his own spot.
I think so, too.
Lil Jay's going to get his own spot. He's going to fall asleep.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You and Ronnie are going to go back and forth. There's going to be some bullshit in that van.
Yeah, I got Ron sitting shotgun.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody film it.
They can drive.
No. I think I'm the only one in the insurance, and I can't trust Ronnie in that role.
He's a lunatic behind the wheel.
He is. Well, he does everything but drive.
He makes me drive and he
He
watches
does
Netflix.
I mean, he's watching. He's got phones.
Hey, guys,
He's here while we're going 90 down the highway to hell. I mean, it's like, yo, Ron.
He's watching. He's
trying to make the game.
He's watching TV while he drives.
I've got 2 tickets left tonight to the game. I thought I was getting tickets from the program early on. They said they had no more tickets left, so I went online and bought like a fool. And yesterday I got the call from the program. They got a couple of tickets for us at the gate tomorrow, so I'm scrounging trying to sell. I got 2 sold. I still got 2 available. If you're interested, DM me. As every morning,
slide in there.
Yeah, as every morning we do, we come in with our friends from Capital City Soul, the local band here, as they've got a gig coming up on New Year's that we'll be telling you about. Our friends love them, man. They're the best. Capital City Soul is playing at LaBerge New Year's Eve, the Bash on New Year's Eve. Tickets are available right now at $45 per ticket. It includes open bar. Capital City Soul is playing from 11 to 1 o'clock, which includes a champagne toast at the Countdown. Doors open at 10:30. Support the local band. We always appreciate their support of us. Capital City Soul, Chris Allen, their lead singer. Them and the crew will be over at LaBerge. If you're looking for New Year's Eve plans, get your tickets now. $45 a hit for Capital City Soul playing over at LaBerge. Huge day here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We're going to get in and get out of here and talk about it all. LSU has hired a defensive coordinator. I'm going to get his name right now. That is official. It is Matt House.
There we go.
Who comes down from the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll tell you what we know about him, which is not a lot, but if you read a little bit around the press, Tyrann Mathieu tweeting out, obviously a Kansas City Chief defensive back, as he's been with House the last 3 seasons, had glowing remarks on House. It is game day, LSU and Auburn SEC opener. As we said, we will be in Auburn, Alabama at 6 o'clock this afternoon for the SEC showdown. Really looking forward to it, man, as this is going to be a top 15 matchup, top 16 matchup. According to the AP. But we'll talk about that one coming up here. Billy Embody going to stop by at 8:30. Embody's got a great piece on 247 on Matt House. We'll talk to him about the hiring coming up in the second hour today. And then leading off the second hour at 8 o'clock, we will go to Auburn. Tasman Mitchell, LSU assistant basketball coach, legend, former great, Denham Springs future mayor, will be here at 8 o'clock this morning as we will get a little boots on the ground, frontline view of LSU and Auburn from the bench from Tasman Mitchell. Make sure you hit the like button, share button, comment button. We appreciate that every day. Their phone line guests will be brought to you by Metropolitan Health Group. Charles Harvey and Jason Ramazan will be down in Auburn this afternoon. There's a huge LSU wave that is going to crash into Auburn, Alabama this afternoon at 6 o'clock. We sent the Balcony Bengals, who took off yesterday. The video looked great as they hit the road. They made it safely last night. They will be bouncing around Auburn today and then inside the arena for tip-off this afternoon at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a showdown, man. Really looking forward to getting you all of that from the front line today. But obviously the huge news that is moving the wire and that everybody is talking about is Matt House, now officially a part of the LSU staff. He is served as the linebackers coach for the Kansas City Chiefs for the last 3 seasons. And Brian Kelly had a couple of quotes on House that was published on LSUsports.net and made its way into the press release. And Kelly told LSU, Matt checks every box we're looking for in a defensive coordinator. He's led elite SEC defenses from his time back in Kentucky. recruited and developed all-conference and all-American performers at multiple positions, and garnered ample experience in both the NFL as a coordinator, both in the NFL and as a coordinator at multiple collegiate stops. He possesses a great understanding on how to defend the types of offenses that we will face every week in our conference, and his ability to put players in positions to make plays aligns perfectly with the identity that we want to develop with our defense. I'm excited that he's joining our staff as we work towards building a championship program at LSU. As we said, House is now in his third season as the linebackers coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent 3 seasons before that as the Kentucky defensive coordinator. So that is the experience that Kelly is talking about in leading SEC talent on that side of the ball. This is a name that we've heard for the last couple of weeks, and we were talking about this yesterday as somebody inside of the chat was asking what's going to happen with the coordinators' hires. When is Brian Kelly going to move? Is he going to hire an offensive coordinator? Is he going to hire a defensive coordinator? And as we said, I think deals are in place. Obviously, the deal was in place with House, and Brian Kelly officially made it news yesterday once he announced it. Yesterday afternoon. So now you've got your defensive coordinator in place, and I would expect Mike Denbrock to be named the offensive coordinator and primary play caller once Cincinnati is bludgeoned by Alabama on Saturday in the playoff.
This is the first time the NFL, it's like the first day NFL coaches
must have been, right?
It is. It was. I mean, it was the first time that you can either, if you fired your coaches, that you can go and interview and hire guys or accept other jobs, I believe. Is what I read and I saw. So I think that's pretty much why. I mean, they've had the deal done. I'm assuming they just couldn't announce it until this day. Yeah.
And look, we talked about Kentucky's defensive coordinator currently, Brad White.
Yes.
Was the guy that LSU seems like they were kind of barking up his tree for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and trying to get an interview there. You saw that White got an extension and a raise at Kentucky. He gave his bowl bonus to the victims of that area who suffered devastation in a tornado a couple of weeks back. So there were some good feels and good stories around White in Kentucky. And then come to find out, Kelly was in negotiation with his former boss in Matt House, who had been over at Kansas City for the last 3 years, and got the deal done officially. Got the deal done yesterday, but as Mikey said, I agree with you. This deal has been done for a while. Now, Tyrann Mathieu, who is the all-pro safety and one of the faces of the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously has been in that system since House has arrived 3 years ago, was tweeting out and talking a little bit about the hire. And he tweeted yesterday, 12 hours ago, as soon as the announcement was made officially by LSU. Tyrann tweeted, "I'm excited for Coach House and all of Tiger Nation. This man loves football and teaching. One of the best I've been around. The Tiger defense will be well coached from day one. Let's all buy in. Forever LSU." If it's coming with the sign-off from Tyrann Mathieu, and I know as little as I do about Matt House, I'm all in.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm all in. If you've got the sign-off from the Badger, somebody who has played that system and somebody who obviously loves the university, loves the program, if he says it's all good, I'm good with it, man. And I also think that Brian Kelly has really done a nice job of methodically building his staff to how he sees fit to get the best out of LSU football, right? Like a lot of these people that they're bringing in, we may not have heard about, we may not know. We have to read, kind of dig in, dive in, and get to some resumes and see the experience. But he's taking his time. He's building his staff. He was able to capitalize, I think, as much as he could on National Signing Day. Would you have liked to have gotten Shaz or Aaron Anderson or Kendrick Law? Sure. But I think when it came down to it, you really never had a chance there, did LSU? So, you know, for all intents and purposes, what they were trying to accomplish on National Signing Day, they got done, and you're slowly but surely seeing the staff really come together. And it's on nobody's timeline but Brian Kelly's. And, you know, somewhere I really appreciate that. I don't know, what it means and if it translates into instant success for LSU. But what it does tell me is that Brian Kelly is in here and it's his program and he's running it how he sees is the best to maximize the product.
No doubt. We brought him in to change the culture and put his stamp on the program, and that's what he's doing right now. He has his plan, and he's following through with his plan. And that you're seeing that. Like he is taking the time to make the right decisions. He's not just jumping into decisions. He's not trying to make decisions based off what the fans or us want. He's making decisions based off what he thinks is best for the team, and he doesn't give a shit if you like it or not. You know what I mean? Which is good. You want that type of confidence and that type of mentality as the head guy.
The only pushback would be that this is his, you would say, third choice, right? Like he obviously wanted Marcus Freeman, didn't get him. He took the Notre Dame job, which makes a ton of sense, right? Like you wouldn't come to LSU.
I don't even know if
you
you count that, right?
Right, but that's who he wanted, right? He wanted to bring his entire
everybody
staff.
wanted him, yeah.
Right. But yeah, that would have been an absolute home run hire.
Yeah.
And then he tries to go to Kentucky. Can't
Here's
land
my
that
thing.
guy.
Here's my thing about the Kentucky thing. All of that was rumors, right? You think, hey, they're going for the Kentucky DC.
Nothing official there.
What if he says, I'm going for the former? What if it was the former Kentucky DC?
I'm talking to White to learn about House.
Yeah, he's trying to vet him.
Or they were talking about House and people just heard Kentucky and thought he was talking about White. You know what I mean? Because House was the DC at Kentucky. So what if that was just, you know what I mean? Because you don't know. I mean, that's like me telling you a secret, you telling him a secret,
Game
him
of
telling,
telephone.
and you're like, well, by the time it gets to the end, it's completely different than what it was in the beginning.
Right.
So my whole, and I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I mean they're both. White was under House at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky, he was the DC at Kentucky. He went to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think maybe it could have been, hey, we're talking to Matt House. Someone mentioned Kentucky defensive coordinator, and he thought, oh, it's Chad White. Is it Chad White? Is that
Brad.
his name?
Brad.
White.
They look exactly
Couple of Brad
alike.
and Chads.
Brad
Yeah.
Chads. But
Brad White, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of what I think that could possibly have happened. So I don't want to say, oh, Brad White said no to LSU. Maybe that people just thought it was Brad White instead of Matt House. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Keem, here goes Lloyd being a crybaby.
I'm not crying, dude. Not crying. Just saying. Y'all always late.
Donnie T says
Sometimes
late
swing and
start in
miss.
recruiting and all new coaches go through it even with Nick Saban. The second-year recruiting class will tell you everything you need to know. Chili says Matt House turned down 2 SEC jobs last season at Auburn and Tennessee. I know Tennessee tried to change it. Like they threw a lot at him. Assistant head coach title, defensive coordinator, big money, and he stayed put, man. And he jumps for the LSU job. So I think it tells you what he thinks and respects about the position and the job in
And
Baton
Brian
Rouge. And Brian Kelly for sure. So I think it's a tremendous hire. Again, don't know a lot about Matt House, but I do know that Tyrann Mathieu, who I put a
lot of stock in.
A tremendous amount of stock into his knowledge of defensive football and somebody who really cares about LSU. If he sees House as a really good fit, I'm all in. I really am. I'm anxious to see how he hits the ground
I wonder
running.
if he's related to Tom House, the quarterback guru.
The quarterback guru, right?
Yeah, really the throwing guy. He's a baseball guy.
He's Tom Brady's guy, isn't he?
Well, he's Drew Brees' guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a baseball guy. It's not Matt House. It's Tom House, people. Not Matt House. Tom
Watch
House.
out now.
He was a baseball guy. He's out in California. He
Really?
has some ties to Louisiana, I think.
They all do, bro.
Tom House. I
It
really do
always
think
comes
that.
back to Louisiana. Somewhere
he,
along the way, Louisiana is baked into, it seems like, every story.
Maybe he comes here. I turn into a pitcher. Maybe.
Your local, reliable,
do you
legal
think you got?
team. You can throw a
80s?
fastball.
Right now? No, I think I can get. I mean, I could probably put me on the mound right now. Probably low 90s.
Okay.
No way.
Consistently?
No, I mean like no.
Yeah.
I mean
Just
you have
adrenaline.
to build that.
Yeah.
You give
Would
me
you hurt yourself if you went?
no. You give me like
Couple
give me some
more.
time. I think I can get to mid 90s.
Mohan Law Firm, remember our law firm here on the Jordy Culotta Show, your local reliable legal team with 50 years of combined experience helping you out with a wide range of services. Practice areas include personal injury, wills and trusts, business organizations, family law, succession and probate, entertainment law, all of that at your fingertips over at Mohan Law Firm. 225-926-8533 is the phone number. 225-926-8533. Mulhan Law Firm, your local reliable legal team. Another tweet yesterday from Tyrann Mathieu that we were following that the entire NFL and sporting world, I think, was hit by, and maybe even some fringe sports and football fans were probably attracted and brought into this story. Was that legend John Madden passed away, 85 years old. And I think, Madden is one of those guys that is fascinating from a standpoint, stayed relevant with all different types of generations for different types of skills, right? Like, I mean, he was a Hall of Fame coach with the Oakland Raiders. Spent time kind of with a young Al Davis. If you go back and watch some of those mid-'70s Raiders teams on the NFL films, I mean, really kind of sucks you in, right? I mean, it was kind of what football was during that time, was the Oakland Raiders and John Madden and Al Davis and the Raiders versus the Steelers and the immaculate reception and all of that stuff during that time period. Madden was kind of the backdrop of football from a coaching standpoint when you go through that period. Then you transition to after coaching life for John Madden, and really kind of my generation, my age demographic. I will always kind of recognize John Madden and his voice as being a Hall of Fame broadcaster that he was on so many outlets, on Fox News with Pat Summerall and CBS.
What a combo.
The combo.
The best combo.
For me, but, I'm biased. Growing up, it really, when I think about my childhood, I almost hear them narrating it, right? Like, I mean, it's almost Jim Hawthorne, Pat Summerall, John Madden. I mean, some of these voices, Al Michaels, that really kind of brought you up to this point. Gus Johnson. I mean, people that just, when you think
First
of
ballot
sports, absolutely, that suck you into the television, that bring you to sit you down and make you interested. John Madden, for my money, was the best. I mean, I can't think of a Thanksgiving with my family growing up without John Madden being in the background. Cutting up. I mean, he was using a turducken from A-Bears.
I
mean, it was Louisiana. You know what I mean? Somehow Louisiana will find their way into the storyline. But
John Madden loved Louisiana. He loved New Orleans. He talked about it all the time. He was a big promoter of the culture down there.
That's how the turducken
And then for
started.
another generation, I mean, even for my son, who is 10 years old, is a Madden junkie.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, him and his buddies are always kind of on their headsets talking about who wants to play Madden. Who wants to play Madden? I mean, they're talking about John Madden without even knowing that they're talking about John Madden.
John Madden called a bunch of plays for me too.
Ask
Madden. He called a bunch of plays for me. I needed to see what John wanted me to do.
But he became synonymous with football. Like, his name, just means football. Now, that's how much he meant to football and what he brought to the game. It's almost like it's an unbelievable loss for the sport, even though he wasn't really involved as much as he was, like, down the stretch. We were saying in the pre-production, they obviously knew that maybe he was probably going downhill when they let the documentary out about his life. It was
Madden 20. Have you seen that? Or has that been out? Is that out yet?
Yeah, it came out on Christmas Day.
But it will start streaming January.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard that. I mean, they said that's going to be awesome.
Oh, how could it be?
I mean, how could it not be?
I can't wait to watch it.
Didn't fly, rode the bus everywhere, so he traveled around America and really kind of endeared himself to people. I think that was his draw. That was the reason why you melted into him as a viewer, watching him broadcast games. And I think when you met him, the stories were countless of people who met him who said that he would just sit down, talk to you like he was just passing through and a regular guy. I mean, and you were sitting in there in awe, asking him stories about his famous teams, about some of the games he's called, about Pat Summerall and traveling around and some of those football stories, and then, the development of the video game and all of that stuff. And he's still just this likable, relatable guy that just was football. I mean, he absolutely was the essence, the epitome, the example of football for definitely people I'm 40 years old. I mean, definitely people in and around my age up to this point, probably 28 to my age,
he's right
and
in my
above.
wheelhouse.
I mean,
absolutely
is John Madden. I mean,
I mean, he touched across generations and still will. Like you said, with the Madden football game, I'm sure he'll be on the cover next year, like they'll do something like that to immortalize him forever. Like you'll get a lot of John Madden news from the NFL that's going to come out, and people are going to kind of revisit him and get to enjoy John Madden all over again.
Yeah.
So that'll be great. I mean, he's
a
a perfect guy for football.
I wish I was old enough to be able to I mean, I remember his broadcasts, like some of them. But I wish I was old enough to where that sticks in my mind a lot. You know what I mean? Because I was too young to really appreciate who was calling football games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't get him for the acumen, at our age. We weren't I understand his football knowledge. It was just, he was almost like the Emerald of football. It's boom, he's got taglines. He's this bigger, larger-than-life character that brings you football in a way that makes you enjoy it.
Right.
He's the everyman.
Really mastered the telestrator too.
Yeah, he's funny with it too.
The first telestrator?
I think the one that
everybody
made it
thinks
stood out. I think that Dandy Don Meredith was one of the first to do it on Monday Night Football, but he never really could do it. It was tough to incorporate into the game when stuff's going on around you. They were in a 3-man booth at that time with Howard Cosell and Frank Gifford. Alongside Meredith, so I think it was tough. But with Pat Summerall and John Madden is really where it came to light, where it came, it got wings. I mean, it was it was people were looking forward to it, right?
Yeah, what I remember about it is he made it funny.
Right.
He would talk and he'd make circle. And
you got a guy right here. Boom. Boom.
And so it wasn't necessarily you're learning. It was just. You're learning it, but it was just funny, and it was man, this is awesome.
When's the penis going to show up?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
God, thank you,
it was
John.
great, man. It was an absolute. He almost was like your football teacher growing up. The way that he would describe the game was so elementary.
But the one the teacher you wanted to, the class you wanted to be in.
You always you didn't mind going to that class and you didn't mind staying extra. You know, if it went a little longer, it was all good.
The zenith is always rolling in on John Madden's class.
Oh yeah.
The PE teacher filling in. You're like, oh hell yeah. I thought about this on the way here. He was like a football apostle almost.
Yeah.
The way he spread the good word about the game. He's one of the founding fathers for football almost.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Definitely is. He's definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. No, without a doubt.
I think he takes up 2 spots. Him and Ronnie.
Daily, we're brought to you by City Cafe. Remember, if you're out and about and looking for a great meal today, great lunch special, City Cafe has daily lunch specials for you. CityCafeBR.net. Also a great spot to watch basketball, as City Cafe, huge basketball fans over there with Squeaky Miranda, Cody Miranda, and the crew. Dirk, stop in today. Ask for the lunch specials. They also have brunch every Sunday. CityCafeBR.net is where they are online. CityCafeBR.net is where they are online. And as we said, they're on O'Neill, and George O'Neill is where you can find them, where they've been in business for over 100 years. So stop in and see them over at City Cafe. Tell them you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Check out the oysters, as they will be fantastic, as they always are. City Cafe, proud supporter here of the Jordy Culotta Show. All right, it's going to be a hectic day for us to get onto the road, not for the entire crew. I'm hitting the road at about 10:45 this morning.
Crazy. Sounds like you had tickets.
Compliments of our friends over at Miller's RV, which it's going to be an experience, boys. Loading up with the crew. We will have some documentation on some of it. There might be some parts that we want to leave out.
If you got Ron riding shotgun, dude.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be so much fun.
So we're gonna pick up the RV this morning, or at least the vehicle, at Miller's RV, which is located over there at 12912 Florida Boulevard. Gonna go pick up the crew and hit the road and head towards Auburn. We'll get to Auburn, Alabama, hopefully safely and soundly this afternoon. And watch the game. It's supposed to be a little rainy, a little cold.
It's all right. It's indoors.
All good. That's right. And anybody can help me out with a parking pass in Auburn, Alabama. I'm pushing my luck.
Throw it out there.
All right. Just pushing my luck. Yeah, right. If you're out in Auburn and you can help your boy, just let me know, man. Shoot, just get my DMs, for God's sake.
You got a place to stay?
Boy, I wish you had that view of the mountains. That's nice. Look at that.
That's Auburn. What are you talking about?
Miller's
John Denver's full of shit.
12912 Florida Boulevard, and then heading to Auburn, Alabama. Got a meeting at the new DL this morning as soon as we get out of here.
They have a YouTube channel.
Yes, and they're doing a great job at their
Look at
YouTube
that.
channel, bro. Look at how many subscribers they have.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, it's they're doing really good work. TJ Sanford over there understands the space, bro.
I hope you don't have to get on it today.
What?
If you're on the YouTube channel, something went awry.
Yeah. Don't even put that out in the universe.
RV water tanks.
So we'll be in Auburn. And big day yesterday at the new DL, boys.
Big day.
Covered a lot of
big
ground.
big
Covered
48
a
hours.
lot of ground.
Almost
I'm telling you.
Steve almost ran out of gas.
That,
We did run out of gas.
You did run out of gas.
We did. Had a little snafu.
The watch room, I think, is better than I expected it to be.
Yeah, nice little
I
section on
busted
there.
in tonight. I think
Huh?
that's what I think.
Yeah.
we
We're
might watch
talking
it
about watching the games there.
Yeah. If y'all
Or
can
the
control
games.
the TVs.
Well, we can.
Oh.
We found out we could all be on the big ball.
You have to ask him for permission from his phone.
Yeah, but he hasn't granted it to you. Have you granted it to you?
Not
No.
yet. Not yet.
Why not? What's the deal with
I
that?
haven't
What's your
stayed
deal?
late.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's
He's
your
It's
deal?
going to be a frat.
Get off your high horse, bro. Come on.
I've never seen somebody grind so hard to set up a TV.
Get
and
off your
no-
high horse. Let the whole team in.
It was technology was a hell of a date with me and technology last night. But ultimately,
Yeah,
we
it's
finished
a
with a
monogamous
kiss.
relationship.
We
Apparently,
finished with a kiss, bro. It looks like we're going to go back for more.
big ball.
Got all three TVs
Lefty and
hung
righty.
up
Lefty
in there.
and righty.
Lefty, righty, getting
Lefty,
some love.
50.
The watch room is going to be a great addition to the entire network. It's going to really give us an opportunity to do a lot more stuff. Think Barstool watch parties when they go in there. You can't show the content on the screens, but obviously you can show a lot of reaction. This is going to be huge for March Madness. It'll be huge for nights like Tuesday night when LSU's playing football and basketball. Hopefully they play that football game, man. I see a lot of things that's happening in and around Houston that is not looking good for the Tax Act Houston Texas Bowl or whatever it is.
Well, the new guidelines are going to may help. You know, I know the
I
SEC.
agree, man. I
the
agree.
SEC, I think, has already adopted that, right? They already said that's what they're using.
I mean, they're going to run in lockstep with the NFL. Whatever they do,
Everybody's
yeah.
going to run lockstep with NFL.
Nobody's more excited for this bowl game than John Trey, probably. Like he probably wants to
Yeah,
play it the most. Us, yes.
We're more excited than John Trey because to watch John Trey.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if we're more excited than John Trey. I think John Trey is
I think
foaming
that-
at the mouth.
I want him
to play
to
quarterback again.
score, and I just want to see what his celebration.
Yeah, me too, man. I want him to dominate.
Or touchdown pass and see what happens.
Because I do know this, that Kansas State's defense, they could tell you the play. LSU could almost, on a flashcard, hold the play up to Kansas State's
13.
sideline and let you know John Trey is RPOing right, and you still don't have an answer for it. Like, they can't stop it. So, I mean, it is going to be wild to see LSU with kind of like their C squad. Like, you know what I mean? Like LSU opening day roster combined to LSU's closing day roster. We should do that side by side. To look at like the opening day roster to what they're taking to the bowl,
Oh my God.
which is probably like a C-level squad as far as like what's compared to the opening day. I'm not knocking these guys. I'm telling these guys that they could probably still run laps around Kansas State with John Trey Kirkland playing quarterback because they're just that much better athletes, in my opinion, than what Kansas State is going to put out there. I am not a Kansas State football program historian. I don't know what their team looks like this year, but as far as the reputation of LSU and Kansas State goes, and you give me the option of John Trey Kirkland playing quarterback and throwing it to Jack Besh, Malik Neighbors, Chris Hilton, Brian Thomas, I'm all in. Like, I give me the Tigers. Like, as an objective, unbiased play, if I knew if I know Kansas State's reputation and I know LSU's reputation and LSU's playing one of their freak athletes at quarterback that is a former all-state quarterback, you know what I mean? He's not playing back there like really confused. Give me LSU, man.
The only thing I know about Kansas State's history
Bill Schneider ain't walking
is
through that door.
Bill Snyder, but the upsets of Oklahoma to get LSU in the national championship games twice, 7-3,
Darren Sproles.
and Eli Roberson
Yeah.
and Darren Sproles was
Darren
my
Sproles.
team on NCAA football.
Anybody
options.
remember Michael Bishop?
Oh yeah, I love Michael.
how good
he was
was
the
Michael?
Patriots for a little bit, right?
Bishop was the first
Loved-
JUCO,
Dude,
because that's how Bill Snyder built Kansas State.
he had a cannon.
I heard somebody the
Michael
other
Bishop,
I heard
I
somebody
remember
the
that
other
guy.
day, Spencer Hall, maybe. Spencer Hall make an argument on why Bill Snyder is the greatest college football coach of all time. And let me tell you, when I just listened to it on the front end, it was Spencer Hall. And I didn't know I didn't know that. I knew who Bill Snyder was. I knew some of the story. I didn't know the entire story. What Bill Snyder accomplished in Manhattan, Kansas, with the Kansas State program, which was dead. I mean, it might as well have been a high school program at Kansas State. To what he's accomplished there, what he's just kind of built there, it's amazing. And you could really make the argument, bro, that he is, if not the greatest, he's definitely one of the best college football coaches of all time. You know what it is? It's Spencer Hall, Dan Le Batard, and Bill Snyder on an interview.
Wow.
And it is fascinating. I'm telling you, go to Le Batard and Friends and check it out. And Le Batard's kind of being like the loudmouth journalist. He's like, Bill, Spencer thinks you're the greatest college football coach of all time. How would you answer that question? And Bill's like real humble. And Le Batard's like, Bill, enough with the humility. Spencer, tell him why you think he's the best college football coach of all time. And he goes into just all of the things that he had to build and overcome and recruit. Like, I mean, like he's in a cow town getting Michael Bishop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and the way that he was doing that was he like went junior college, like JUCO, like Michael Bishop was a stud junior college quarterback. JUCO and transfers, kind of like the way that college football is being built right now.
I mean, he was so good they brought him back.
Well,
yeah, they had to.
They had to.
I think he called. I think he was like, "What are y'all doing to what I built? Like, I'm coming back. I'm coming to fix this." And like came back and fixed it.
Yeah.
Hayden Pears. Wait, is Jordy saying that LSU is going to run through Kansas State's defense?
That's what he's saying.
Hayden.
That's exactly what he's saying. Actually,
I'm saying that with John Trey Kirkland at quarterback.
If John Trey plays, I already have. Call me an LSU, whatever. If
you're a homer.
I've already bet on Kansas State because I thought they were going to go O'Dowd.
You dick.
But if they go John Trey, I will flip this bet.
What is the line?
4. LSU's catching 4.
Give me the Tigers.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be O'Dowd. I didn't know they had
They ain't playing Matt O'Dowd. What are they playing Matt O'Dowd for? They got nothing to play for. Brad Davis, you got the job. You got your offensive line. They're not going to fire you for your interim head coaching performance in the TaxAct Bowl with John Trey Kirkland at quarterback.
John Trey's a senior, right?
Yes.
John Trey goes out and balls out. John Trey's going to get drafted.
It doesn't. John Trey's getting drafted today.
I don't know if he's getting drafted. I think he'll sign.
He's going to the combine. He's going to pro day, and he's going to somebody's going to be like, this guy can cover kicks.
He could be undrafted free agent. I think he's going to be on a team. He's going to be on a 53-man roster next year for sure. I don't know about being drafted. He goes out here and says, hey, this is what I can do when I have the ball in my hand. I can be your gimmick guy on offense.
Yes.
You're getting drafted.
Well, look, this is a great showcase for him to be drafted.
Yeah. Right.
It's an audition.
Like, this is somebody looking at him and saying, this guy can play defensive back. I mean, like we said the other day, when you've got a roster filled of quarterbacks, of former quarterbacks, Jack, meet Katie. Katie, meet Jack.
Enjoy the corner.
That is that.
7 minutes
like you're in a great game. 7 minutes, bro.
Is that not the game?
Jeff Lee is the carpool queen okay? The carpool queen is okay.
I think he was going to something. That's spin the bottle.
Fresh. I think they were just wondering where you were. All right, we'll flip over the set and we'll talk about this. Kansas State was a bottom feeder before Bill Snyder, Brian Burgess says. Agreed. Hayden Paris, can John Trey pass?
Yeah,
Jordy is going crazy. What flavor is Kool-Aid? Hayden, Google John Trey Kirkland. He was an all-state quarterback at Lutcher. They won the state championship with him under center. The guy is a player, man. I mean, was he a Division I SEC quarterback? Probably not. I mean, he wasn't. But, I mean, is he competent enough to play one game against Kansas State with Brian Thomas, Chris Hilton, and Jack Besh as his wide receivers?
Don't forget about Malik.
Hell yeah. I mean, and the running backs. And Kirkland. And
Kiner and Armani Goodwin.
God damn it, dude. Why don't you bail him out? He can't think of it.
I got you. Armani, I got you, buddy.
Hayden Parrish, Jordy, slow the RV down. John Trey has spent 4 years being non-productive.
As a receiver, relax.
That's fine, bro. Give me one-game scenario. A one-game scenario versus Kansas State's athletes and LSU's athletes with John Trey Kirkland running run-pass option. Every play, John Trey. If this guy does this, you throw it. If he does this, you run it. And they can't stop that. They will not be able to stop that. And you have enough time in this window of a month, nearly a month from the last time you played, to install that simple of an offense. I mean, we can sit here and bash on LSU's play calling all season long and talk about the offensive coordinator and what was qualified and unqualified. But, I mean, we all agree he can put a one-read RPO offense in with a guy like Jontre and say, hey, man, we're running 6 plays. We got 3 runs, 3 passes.
Here's the deal. When you have a situation like this and you have a guy who's not used to playing a position, he's playing a little bit out of position, but he's a guy on a team that everybody likes, the whole team is going to elevate their game around him. It's going to be more fun. They're going to enjoy the shit out of it. Yeah, dude, they're excited for this.
You heard B.J. Ojulari. If you haven't heard the B.J. Ojulari conversation on Sunday night, he gives you an idea of just how excited they are of the possibility of Jontre playing. I know that doesn't mean they're going to win the game, but it does give you a little boost of energy in the locker room around a time when we were all curious. Is LSU going to be motivated to play? I mean, you're down so many players. You're down coaches. You got new coaches in. You got old coaches out. What's going to be the headspace of the team? And something simple like this of one of their boys, one of their guys, Jontre Kirkland, who they know is a superb athlete, to get this opportunity, it gives them a little jolt. It gives them a little boost. We'll talk more about it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We'll also preview LSU Auburn. We will talk at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll talk to Tasman Mitchell as he is going to check in from Auburn, Alabama. And then at 8:30, we'll talk to Billy Embody about Matt House, the new LSU defensive coordinator, right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. As daily, we're brought to you by Falaya Real Estate. My goodness, Falaya has built one of an incredible podcast studio. Our friend Barrett Blondo is looking for ways to educate the buyer and the seller, and he's doing it through some really creative ways. If you haven't followed, and if you're not following Falaya Real Estate on social media, make sure you're doing that, as Barrett and the crew have announced an incredible studio and a way and a platform to bring you, the real estate buyer and seller, more information and more knowledge. It's a phenomenal look. In fact, our friends over at Flashbang
Lloyd's spot right here.
Creative helped them get into it. It's a phenomenal house, man. It's
Lloyd always pulls up the same one.
Needs a fence. If you bought it, it's a little out.
It's
a little out in the open. It is a little out in the open.
Especially
It's a
for
little
you,
out in
dude.
the open. No privacy, and it's at a 4-way stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
But don't let me persuade. Don't let me dissuade you, man. Call Barrett for God's sake.
This is Lloyd's house. This is Lloyd's house.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
not your
Lloyd's one.
spot, dude.
Falaya
No
Real
offense.
Estate, online, falaya.com. Download the app today. The Carpool Queen is here. She will be on the set next. We will be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
He's claustrophobic and wants privacy.
Yeah,
There's 7 minutes in heaven.
Jack Carpenter, Katie Allen, longtime friend, lives in Charlotte, loyal listener.
Don't you remember this game? They spin the bottle, you go in the closet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I called it spin the bottle.
I know, but it's 7 minutes in heaven. Whoa.
Papa Earl's, the fine spice, originating right down here in South Louisiana by our guy Mark Pop Norman. Developed it back in 2018 and won Amazon's Newcomer of the Year in 2019. They pride themselves in having 30% less salt and sodium than the leading brands at the same price point. You can find them locally. Look for Papa Earl's at Rouse's, Calandro's, Mathern's, High Neighbor, and more. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, live, powered and driven by Go Chevrolet. The things that happen behind the scenes. Our friends Jack Carpenter is in town, heading back to Charlotte today. Loyal listener. Good to see you all,
Who
Jack.
are you? I got you from the bunker.
Yes.
Let me spin this camera.
If we're gonna play, easy,
Hey,
now. If the
he's in the bathroom.
if the Jordy Culotta Show, if you see you got a guy here, boom,
Boom.
knock this guy out here, boom, roll that up there, boom. Jack, a great pickup basketball player in his own right. If we were gonna play the Basketball Managers 3-on-3. Which I know Jack has called down the thunder to the Basketball Managers.
Oh, did he send a
He's
shot
the one
across
that
the
he's
bow?
the one that sent the tweet. Your 3 versus our best 3. And we know we've got Noah and Jack on the
2.
front line. Matuk is a professional athlete who we would hate to lose in a pickup basketball game. For as competitive as we are, I've gone back and forth on whether or not we were going to offer Matuk the 10-day contract for the 3-on-3 basketball. I would hate to have him rolling that. I think we definitely use him in pre and post game.
Yeah, layup lines.
Yep, we keep him in the cutoff shirt the entire game. On the bench, just a threat to check in, maybe running to the scores table.
Just has
You
the
know
meter
what?
on
Come
it.
back, Mike. You know what? Come back. We
Look at
do
those
need a
shoes,
third
though.
though.
Yeah, look at him.
Damn,
Bring him back
Mikey.
out. My shoe game's coming up. We can put him up here.
Really coming up with us.
Yeah.
The
I'm
hardest
The
working
part
bottom
about
is
this
tight.
show.
The bottom part's
Yeah.
Great gum.
Yeah, I like the bottom.
I'm working on it. Unreleased color.
So I don't know who our third would be if we're going 3-on-3.
Could you do it?
I could give you 8 minutes. I mean, if you wanted to split some time.
Me and you could split time.
I just don't know. My only concern is who are we going to guard? You know what I mean? Like
That's
I
the
may be
hardest
able to
part.
get I may be able to get some shots up, and definitely like for the first couple of possessions, I'd get to the rack. But then once the scouting report was on, I don't mean you just play sagged off of me, I would be dead.
So
You
you're
know
not
what I
a
mean? Well, I mean, once my wind goes, I got no legs
Are
and
you
I
a
can't
shooter
shoot.
or
That's
you're
what I'm saying. You're
driver?
more of a slasher.
Yeah, no, I'm a slasher.
Wow.
I'm a slasher. I'm getting to the rack. That was my game back in the day, but at 40, I mean, that can't be my scouting report. I would think that I still had the same game and would go out there and blow an ankle.
I think I can make this work.
Mikey, if we do this thing, he's playing. Like you can't keep it. You can't keep a competitor out of competition.
I'd have to play about 50%, but I could. Still 50% would be good enough.
Yeah,
How do y'all
but
know I'm no
Mikey-
good?
Couple of defense.
Yeah.
I'll
No one's
glass
even
a
mentioned.
couple people. Throw them up.
Can you dunk?
Yep.
I'm not good.
How's your post game?
Not good.
Post what?
How's your back to the basket? I mean, Sophie seems to have a pretty nice little turnaround jump shot, bro.
Sophie is-
I mean,
she
you know
is
who we
improving
should
daily.
get is Besselman.
Yes, that would be awesome.
No,
That's
is
who
it
we should
open? Is it
recruit.
That would
open
be
to
awesome.
anybody? Like, is it
I
open?
think it
I
has
think
to
that
be
would
show.
probably be skirting the rules a little bit.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
that would
I
be
mean, I
skirting
would get
the-
Renato
I mean,
if you want.
if we could hire, yeah, right.
To have a
right.
girl,
I mean,
you
if we
mean?
wanted to
Like
do
a high
this,
school girl?
6'7".
yeah, right. Like
Jared Mitchell?
if we showed up with an LSU recruit, you
Hey.
know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
Yeah,
our
that might not
freshman,
work out.
our freshman pickup. When I was a freshman, our freshman pickup games at the rec, our starting 5 went me, Bo Didier, Anthony Renato is 6'7", DJ LeMahieu is 6'5",
Oof.
and then you could just fill
the
in
made
whoever.
you hoop.
Oh yeah,
bet
he's
he
from
could.
Michigan, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's his.
Yeah.
You put another 5th one in there. We could compete with anybody. He had the size. We had inside out game. It was great.
There's big bodies out there.
Yeah.
That's big dudes.
Yeah, it was great.
Tough
Man-
matchup.
man,
Baseball
kid,
team
tough.
always a tough matchup in the rec. You know what I mean? Like you could
play both.
match up. You could guard them as far as like it wasn't a mismatch, but you couldn't body them up. You couldn't, and it was more the pitchers, bro.
Pitchers are good, dude.
Well, I mean, not
there's-
even like that, but they're big.
Yeah, they're big, but there's pitchers. There's a couple of guys that I've played with that were like could have played D1 basketball that decided just to pitch.
Ron,
That are really good.
I bet you Ronnie's got a nice game, bro.
Well, he was Menard All-American. He's
Oh, he better
Really?
have been.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, for
he
God's
was
sake.
Sinlaw. But
Jesus.
watch out. But he's on the
Last
banners,
athlete that came
dude.
through there was Ronnie.
That's
Wait,
actually
our
true.
Ron?
Ronnie
No,
Rance.
Ronnie Rance.
Oh, God, wait.
Not the Don, dude.
Ronnie Riggs.
We gotta
Ronnie
save
Riggs,
him for an
bro.
All-American.
Wait,
What an
wait.
ace.
I didn't know that.
What an
I
ace.
don't think we'll talk much on defense.
Communication can get broken down a little bit.
My
there.
guy pulled up yesterday at the new DL, Ron Riggs, and took up 3 parking spots.
And we don't have many.
I mean, like,
The Cadillac.
parking spots come at
I
a
was
premium,
like,
and Ron pulls up, walks in, throws his keys on the table, kicks his feet up on the couch like he owns the place.
And he's so quiet.
He is.
Sweet. He barely says a word.
Who drives the red Accord?
Who barks like this?
He's
What's
like,
up, dog?
what's up, man? That's mine. Jesus, Ron.
You want me to move it for you?
LSU Auburn tonight. We're going to talk to Tasman here in a couple of minutes. Be our first chance to see Jabari Smith Jr. up close. Smith averaging 16 points and 7 boards for Auburn going into the matchup. As Will Wade said here yesterday, he is shooting up draft boards and now in the discussion with Pablo Banchero and our guy up at Gonzaga. What's Chet?
Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren.
Sounds like such
What
a
a
porn
name.
As
name.
it does. As a potential
Chet
first pick in the
Stedman.
draft will be Jabari Smith. Number 11 Auburn is traveling in is hosting. Excuse me.
like,
Number
wait, what?
16
Where you going?
LSU this afternoon. A top 16 matchup, as we said. Auburn has won their last 6 home games, averaging 80 points per game. LSU is only giving up a nation's second best 54 points a game. Something's got to give tonight, right? Whether it's going to be LSU starting a little quicker offensively, or it is going to be LSU clamping down and being able to halt Auburn's fast start on that end of the floor. It is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be the greatest challenge of LSU up to this point this season, no question. But you will learn more about LSU basketball's team tonight in the first 20 minutes than I think we've learned all season long. They are going to see some things. They are going to be in situations and in some possessions that they just have not been in this year, with the style of defense that Auburn's going to play, with the athleticism that Auburn's going to roll out, and the environment and atmosphere that they're going to tip this thing off in front of tonight is going to be March-filled electric. It is going to have a postseason feel to this game tonight.
Is the line on the Barstool Sportsbook yet? Did they put it? Is that
That's where
from?
I just grabbed it. Yes.
What's the over under? 145.
140 and a half.
140. I don't like that. I like the over on that actually.
Yeah, I would play the over on that.
I like the over on
But
that.
if it's over, don't you think LSU loses?
no,
Yes.
Do you? Do you?
LSU, I mean,
It's
LSU's going
defense versus
to
offense.
LSU's going to have to play over their
But here's-
skis
but here's-
offensively
but here's
to get there.
But here's my thing. It's 70.
But their
70
defense can
to-
turn into offense.
71-70 is 141. You're over, and 70 is not that much. Not giving up that many points.
LSU's
know what I mean?
only giving up 54 on the
Right,
season.
right. But giving up, like, if you give up 70 points in your first SEC game on the road, I wouldn't consider that a bad defensive effort. Like, maybe not. It's not 54 points, but I mean, 65. If you give up 65 points and LSU scores, or you give 68 and you go up 72, that's 140. That's
Easy with the numbers over
No,
there.
I'm stop listening now.
Easy
But,
with the
what I'm
math
saying,
over
what I'm
there.
saying
We
is
don't like
like
numbers like
70
that.
points is not that much.
How many miles
For
is
who?
50?
to give up? To give up.
Okay.
Like 70
Yeah.
on the road, your first game on the road against an SEC opponent that scores a ton of points, 70 is not bad.
Well, if you hold Auburn to 70, you're going to win the game.
that's my point.
You will win the game.
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying.
I got it.
I mean,
There's just a lot of numbers flying.
71, 70, 141, you get over.
It's going to be it really and truly the first 6 minutes of this game and the last 6 minutes of this game
Nobody
is
scored over
going to
65
be.
against LSU yet.
Right. I understand, but how much is Auburn scoring? 85 points a game. LSU holds them 15 points under their total. That's a win for LSU, is my
100%.
point.
He's right.
He's right.
He's right.
I know I'm right.
He's right.
You're
Also
right.
convinced me to take the Saints second half.
No, I did not
Barstool
convince you.
Sportsbook.
I did
That's
not
emotional.
convince you.
So
Yes.
our boys, the Balcony Bengals, arrived in Auburn around midnight last night and sent me a video of their room. I emailed it to you. It's really
Ooh.
cute.
Uh,
like they're walking around videoing their little suite. It's
Great
so cute.
video on social media of them leaving town. They've got the Jordy
The
Culotta show
flag.
flag flying behind the car. They're going to hopefully get that thing waving in the arena tonight for LSU Auburn, which tips off at 6 o'clock. It's going to be electric, man. It really is. It's going to be fascinating to get to see this thing up close, to see this arena, to see this Auburn team, to see Will Wade versus Bruce Pearl. Very similar in style, similar in nature, the way that they recruit, the way that they really teach their team. I mean, you'll see a lot of the same types of concepts, right? Like this three-quarter trap defense that LSU has been running very successfully up to this point this season. Auburn runs essentially the same thing, right? I mean, like that. Their Tari Eason is Jabari Smith, and Tari Eason has now made his way into the back end of some first-round mock drafts, and Jabari Smith is flying up as a lottery pick. So, I mean, you got pros that are matching up tonight. You got big-time athletes that are going to be squaring off against one another. You got two of the top coaches in college basketball on each sideline. You got an environment and an atmosphere that is, probably ranked tops in the SEC. It's everything you want wrapped up into 40 minutes of basketball.
You said it was going to come down to the first 5 minutes. What makes you think that?
If LSU can take the crowd, not out of it, I don't think that you're going to do that, but at least temper them, that they are going to be able to defend and score with Auburn up to this point. If you can get to the first TV timeout under the 16-minute mark at a 12-10, 11-9 type pace, where you're neck and neck, right? Where it's not like the Louisiana Tech game was, where you went to the first TV timeout and you were down 14, right? They were able to overcome that against Louisiana Tech because they're better than Tech. In an environment like that, when Auburn starts fast, crowds in it, the roof may cave in within the first 5 minutes of tipping this thing off. LSU's never been in that atmosphere. There's only got 2 players on this roster that's even ever seen it in Pinson and Days, right? I mean, a lot of the youngsters that were here last year, they got no idea what a rowdy road environment looks like. They will get their taste of it tonight at 6:02 p.m. As soon as this thing tips off, they are going to be breathing down your neck.
And
if you are missing shots, if you're turning the ball over, if you can't get into your sets, and you got to use some dumb timeout before the first TV timeout,
there's 2 ways to think
be tough to overcome that.
Those walls get tight.
Tough to overcome that.
Two ways I think of this as a player. One, not having that experience could be a good thing.
Yeah, because you
don't know.
Dumb.
You don't know.
You don't have the anticipation in your head going in. Okay, man, I have to do this because this is what happens. So you don't really you don't really know that. And the other thing is, obviously, you get in there and it's either good or bad, right? Like, to me,
I tighten up or you play.
Yeah, to me, I think as a youngster going in there and not really understanding it, I think that you just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna play.
You got to.
Like, this is fun.
I mean, if you're Efton Reed, if you're
Fuck
Brandon Murray, if you're guys like, if you're Eric Gaines,
if you don't know,
you've never seen this.
Your game elevates.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's an Eric Gaines environment.
It feels like a Gaines environment, but it's also a Gaines environment where you don't want to press. You don't want to try to do too much, like last year against Michigan, where he kind of, you know what I mean? Like, he was right there, but then he made a play where you're like, you need to grow from that. You need to learn from that.
But it shows he's not scared. He's
no,
not
he
scared
ain't
of the moment
scared.
at
I don't know
all.
if anybody in this environment from LSU is going to be scared walking into this environment.
I think
really,
it's a Pinson game
I
for
think
me.
that you're,
Steady.
it needs to be.
I think Pinson's going to put up about 20 tonight.
It needs to be.
that
Remember,
down,
Cajun Ready Mix, CajunRMC.com. Cajun Ready Mix brings you the Jordy Culotta Show here daily. If you're looking for Cajun Ready Mix online, they're easy to find them at CajunRMC.com. CajunRMC.com is where you find Cajun Ready Mix. They provide ready mix concrete products and services to meet all of your concrete needs, whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, or municipal.
We need
Get in
them
touch
in our parking lot.
with Cajun Ready Mix.
pull
As
the
a
new one?
noodle.
Oh, maybe so.
I mean, I bottom out almost every time I back out of there.
Very, yeah, I ran out of gas for out there. They should help me with that. Do you think they can help me with that?
About a gas boy.
It's not working. I need to figure this thing out, boys.
9 plants around the greater Baton Rouge area, which means if you order concrete from Cajun Ready Mix, then it'll be there on time and to the exact specification. CajunRMC.com. CajunRMC.com. Put the phone number in your contacts list. 225-372-5060. 372-5060. One of the all-time greats and now assistant LSU basketball coach, Tasman Mitchell. Next here as we preview LSU Auburn on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Get a gas can.
Oh, that was an adventure, too.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
legit ran out.
I ran out. It was the first time in my life. Yeah.
When?
Do you know how lucky we were
Oh, my
that
God.
you got
There.
to the spot before you ran out of gas with the couches?
Well,
With all
but
the-
the thing about it is, I don't know. I wasn't worried about, like, I've been in this situation, but, like, I know, I have a good mental, like, radar of, like, how close I
Of
am
your car, you know
of
your
the
car.
Low, when low fuel comes on. I was like, I'm good. I'll just go get gas after this. I don't know if, like, I don't know what happened.
So you
I was
ran
out.
out.
I ran
The
out.
car
It would not
stopped.
start.
Okay, we're still on. That's fine.
Oh, we are.
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show to Auburn, Alabama. We're hitting the road to Auburn. Compliments of Miller's RV this morning. Shout out to our friends over at Miller's RV over there on Florida Boulevard. LSU left yesterday, so Tigers will get their shoot around today at Auburn Arena. Tip off at 6 o'clock, which is going to be one of the most rowdy environments that we have seen in college basketball in the past couple of years, with this thing being open to the public and will be full capacity. We welcome in former LSU great, an LSU legend, and now an assistant basketball coach on the staff with the Crew, as the Tigers are 12-0 heading into this matchup. Tasman Mitchell joins us from Auburn this morning. Taz, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, my man. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Good to have you back, Taz. This matchup, it's easy to get caught up like we are. We're in the emotional part of it, bro. We can't wait. We see the matchups. We see Jabari Smith. We see Tari Eason. We see LSU undefeated. We see Auburn just an overtime loss away from being undefeated. How do you keep all of that noise out of your locker room and keep your guys focused on just playing 40 minutes?
Man, you know what, man, Coach Wade do a good job keeping the guys focused on our task and not too much worried about the outside noise, man. But, you know, like I say, they're kids, so of course they'll worry about, you know, they'll listen to the outside noise. But Coach Wade does a great job just keeping them grounded and keeping them focused on us and what we have to do as a team, you know.
What have you learned on Auburn in scouting them over the last week? You guys have had an extended time off since your last time out versus Lipscomb, so you've had some extra couple of days to look at this Auburn squad. What do you see?
With respect to Auburn, man, they're a great team, well-coached team, man. They got great talent. You know, like you said, they got Jabari Smith, they got Katie Johnson, they got Flanagan, they got a lot of great pieces, you know, to their team, and I think they're playing tremendous basketball. But you know what, the Tigers, LSU Tigers are too. So, man, you know, they're a great team, man. So we just give them the respect that they, you know, that they deserve, that they need. But we also know that that we're good as well, you know. So,
what do you see in Jabari Smith's game? What has made him so he has really adapted to the college game very quickly? Why?
Oh man, he's a matchup nightmare, man. He's 6'10", can step out and shoot the three ball. He stretches the floor. His basketball IQ is real good. Man, he's just a great talent, man, and it's gonna be an honor and a privilege to play against him. You know, he's a great guy. Gonna be top 5 NBA pick, I think, in my way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but man, he's just great, man. He's a good player, man. Great kid as well.
Taz, we talked a little bit earlier on the show about how it's a young team. They haven't had a lot of experience in a hostile environment. You've obviously played in a ton of big games in your career here. What's some of the advice you've kind of given these guys about, you know, heading into the Auburn arena and you know, making sure that they're ready mentally?
Oh man, stay poised, man. You know what I'm saying? Stay in the moment with your team. You know, focus on your team, focus on what you do, focus on our game plan. Don't get caught up into the noise and the atmosphere, but embrace the atmosphere. Enjoy the atmosphere. Have fun in the atmosphere. You know, but stay grounded, stay poised, and just stay focused on our task, and let's play, you know, and let's play our basketball. Don't get caught up into the crowd, man. But it's hard to, because they're young and they embrace it. But you know, but like I said, you got to stay focused on our task, on LSU Tigers task.
Do you lean on guys like Pinson and Days more tonight because they've seen that environment? They've seen the type of atmosphere you're walking into?
Yes, yes, they can keep the other guys, the other freshmen that never. I mean, the freshmen and a couple of other guys that transferred in. Man, you know, they get the maturity. They can tell them about it. You know what I'm saying? They can keep them poised. They can keep our huddles tight. You know, and just make sure we're not getting. Make sure we're not getting overly excited and doing stuff that we don't do normally. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think Pinson, having guys like Pinson and Dave can keep them guys grounded, you know, but still playing hard and recognize who we playing for. We playing for LSU Tigers, you know.
Tari Eason has been magnificent through the first 12 games. He's done everything. He seems like a real complete player as one of his coaches and spends a lot of time with him. What do you love about his game?
Man, first of all, he's a student of the game. He always want to get better, you know, and that's really important for us, you know, because, you know, we want all of them to get better. We don't want them to think that even though they're playing good and doing everything else well, we still want to know there's room for improvement. But he's just a great kid as well, man. He's a student of the game. He wants to learn. He listens. And that's the main focus for me. I love a player that listens, that understands, that takes criticism how he's supposed to, and that's what he does, man. Tar, like I said, Tar is a great kid. Everybody on our team is great kids, man. We don't have no problem out of none of them, man. They listen, they challenge us just like we challenge them as well, So I mean, like I say, man, he's a great kid, great talent, man. And we're grateful to have him on our team.
The greatest chemistry I've ever seen on a team that I have had just the privilege of seeing up close was your 2006 team, your freshman season that y'all went to the Final Four. That was a special ingredient. Y'all were brothers. Y'all had known each other since y'all were kids. Y'all had played together since y'all were almost babies. This team seems very close, very as close as almost y'all were during that time. Can you explain the chemistry on this team and kind of where that comes from?
Well, I don't like to, I don't like to do too much compare and contrasting because, like I say, the way, the way we were, so we knew each other since we were 8 years old.
Right.
And we played against each other growing up, and we spent a night with one another. We played on the same AAU team and all that stuff. So that chemistry was built when we were 10. But these guys, man, they brought in guys like Pinson and Dave, man. Allow these guys to know what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, Pinson been in Missouri and Dave been here, and they help these guys out as far as the chemistry, to help them with chemistry. Like hey, pass the ball one more time. He open in the corner. Yeah. That's what Pinson is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad, I missed him. You know what I'm saying? I got you next time. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody got a mismatch or something like that, the veteran, guard keeps going to him. He loves, so basically that builds chemistry, that builds trust. First of all, that builds trust, and trust is everything. So I think these guys trust each other on the court and off the court, which makes it great.
Tasman Mitchell joining us here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Game day tip-off at 6 o'clock this afternoon between LSU and Auburn. How does today work, Tasman? What's the schedule work like on a big game? I'd imagine that this is going to be a very long time to get to 6 o'clock for a lot of these guys.
Man, it's a normal day, man. A normal day. Like I said. Then again, us as a coaching staff and Coach Wade been, been the general. He has, he keeps some guys grounded, man, and know that the focus is the same as each game, but the height of the game is high. You know what I'm saying? But we do the same thing. So basically, we just let them know they have to lock in all day long. Be locked in. Wake up in the morning, reading your scout report. Wake up in the morning, watching your film and your scout edit on your players. So we do a good job keeping us grounded, like an everyday schedule.
How sorry did you feel for that pilot who sank the plane on the way to Atlanta?
At that time, I did feel sorry for him because I was upset. I was kind of upset, like, man, how you do that, man? You just flying a plane for a family. But I also understand that everybody makes mistakes. I always understand that everybody make mistakes and we're human at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't hold it against him too much, man. But I was kind of upset because he kind of threw our schedule off a little bit. But he sunk in the mud. So like Coach Wade said, he made something. He's real creative. Like, got it out the mud. So that was the thing. That was the thing for that week. You know what I'm saying? For that weekend, we gonna get it out the mud, and we went to Atlanta, got it out the mud.
Y'all's legs looked a little like they were a little rubbery for the first 10 minutes. I thought Wade had run y'all into the ground when he got y'all off that plane and brought back to practice. I thought he was gonna bring the pilot back over there and make him run suicides.
Nah, man, no indeed. No indeed. Like I say, man, it's just these kids that's just growing within themselves, man, and we got to learn how to, like Coach Wade, he put emphasis on starting better, but like when you play defense, man, it's when you play defense and you play team defense and you play hard on defense, starts like that is okay because other teams not really scoring as well. So they scoring, but they're not scoring at a bulk that we can't come back. So that's a good thing about playing defense. So that's what we hanging our hat on. When we still can score the ball, we hanging our hat on our defense. And like I say, defense win championships. So it allows you to be down and come back.
It's crazy how good y'all are on defense. It's wild to think how that y'all could improve on that side of the ball because it's still so early in the season. I know this is only one and the first of what is going to be a crazy SEC schedule. This feels like an enormous one. Have a great day. Good luck. We will see you tonight at Auburn Arena. Can't wait to get there, Coach, as it'll be a top 15 matchup, and it'll feel like the centerpiece of the college basketball world. Enjoy the day. I know you guys will have the crew ready. We'll see you this afternoon, and boot up.
Boot up.
No doubt, Jordy. Boot up, my man. Thanks for having me.
All right, Taz.
See you later.
We'll see you, baby. There was Tasman Mitchell checking in from Auburn, Alabama this morning as LSU basketball is set to take on Auburn. It's going to be an epic battle this afternoon at 6 o'clock. We look forward to getting down there. That was Tasman giving a little preview as our good friend Tom Granning is inside of the chat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to Tom Granning and all the folks over at Go Mart. We got a great Christmas card from Granning. If you saw, Granning and his family were all over SEC towns, and he was representing LSU, and in one of the pictures had on the Jordy Culotta Show hoodie in this Christmas card. We just want Tom Granning to know, man, how much we appreciate him, whether it's the snacks, the gas cards, the support for the show, always and endlessly. We love Go Mart. We love the people over there, and Granning it's no wonder why that is a good and well-respected business because of the people that they have behind it, guys like Tom Granning, and we appreciate, as always, his support. It was awesome to see the Christmas card.
Was he the one that was scuba? That was in the who set the picture under the water in the
no, that was Spillers.
That was Spillers.
Dr.
Okay,
Spillers.
yeah, that's the one I saw. I didn't see, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Dr.
I was
Spillers.
obviously shout out Tom.
I've got Tom Granning's Christmas card on our Christmas tree. I put everybody's Christmas cards like in the tree.
That's cute.
And Granning's is in the
Yeah,
tree. I'll go
Henry
run
up
and
there
grab
in
it.
your tree?
So no
what's
deck.
that?
You got Henry up there?
Henry's in the tree.
So no
Henry,
like
yeah.
ornaments.
Yeah, no, there are ornaments and there are lights.
A little mix match.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of
Cool.
pushed in there.
I like
you know
that.
what I mean? Yeah.
Lloyd,
Wait.
something fell out of the AC.
That was ice.
That was
That was
ice.
ice.
That was
That was
ice.
ice.
We're almost
That
out of
was
here,
ice.
dude. I'm not worried about it.
Nice.
The AC was iced over.
Oh, okay.
Billy Embody's going to be here
making me
in
throw up, I
10
think.
minutes. Matt House, are you gonna get the puke and you've
No,
not done it?
not today.
You've not done it.
But I think there's
Yeah,
something
it's contaminated.
in there.
There's something in there.
there's
Look at
something
it.
in there.
Contaminated.
I mean, just look at it.
This has always been a private room. Don't start bashing the place now. I mean, I've
We're
opened
not
up my.
bashing it. We've been complaining about that thing for a year.
Look at that thing, man.
Oh god.
Looks good.
I
Look
mean,
at
we've
the
been
character.
threatening to
Look at the
change
character on
out
that
for a
thing.
year.
Yeah, Bill's character. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Look at
it's
that
bu-
huge
it's building
chunk
up-
of
This
ice.
Hey, look at Gomard holding it up.
That's right, dude.
That's right.
We're building your immune system up, boy. That's
No,
what
no, I am one for. I appreciate a little character. You need a little dirt in the wound
Yep.
every now
Yeah.
and then. You know,
Yeah, no
make
doubt.
sure you're
Making
tough.
you throw up though?
I don't know. Something is.
You just
I mean,
made
you're
that up.
throwing up like
Did
right
you just
now.
make that up?
No.
Are you
no.
feeling bad?
You
Not right
haven't
now.
puked.
I feel good
You
right
have
now.
been throwing up though.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know
when's
why.
the last
Are you
time?
pregnant?
When was the last? Yesterday.
Really?
Yesterday?
You could
What,
be
are you
pregnant.
sick?
I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know.
Don't
Yeah.
come to work.
We talked about this in the
I
car.
know you did.
We
You
talked-
said you fell off.
I fell a little off.
Fell off.
I
You
think
gotta
it-
tell us we're up in this room together.
I'm not
No,
sick.
not like that.
I think it's from it's like the
It's
holiday food.
indigestion.
Yeah,
It's
you know,
that
it's that's
indigestion.
too rich for my blood.
Laying
Okay.
on your stomach.
I
We
agree with
also
that.
had this conversation yesterday as well.
Yeah. We had
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
talking
been
yesterday.
bad.
There was
Yeah,
a lot of
good-
time
some
together. It
good
was
talks.
great.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
where
great.
you brought us to get that couch, but that's a different
It was
conversation.
nice. Yeah.
Jordy, it was sketchy for you.
Oh, I know. where
No,
it
he's
is.
been there.
No, I know
Oh,
where
of
it
course.
is.
He's been there.
Probably owned the place.
Yeah, I know where it
Like
is.
a storage unit?
Yeah.
You could call it that.
Okay.
It was a combination. It's a combination building.
Okay.
Storage unit.
Jesus, is this where the bodies are buried?
Absolutely.
Yes, they are.
A combination.
Any questions?
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
No, none. Zero.
Here's your key back.
Billy Embody's going to stop by here in a couple of minutes. We're going to talk LSU adding Matt House. We're going to have to cut out a little early today. Little early. Things are going to get a little wild this morning. We got a meeting over at the Noodle. And then heading over to Miller's RV. Going to go pick up the unit to get on the road. And,
You have a picture of it? Yeah, I want to see what it looks like.
I think it's just a Mercedes Sprinter, Coach.
Oh, sometimes you have the sprinters that have
I
like
know,
the
I
is he giving you like
know,
the
Like a
I
stripper
the macked
pole.
out one?
No.
Not the
I don't know.
stripper pole. I mean, you
I
could
don't know.
Have you ever sprinted
I did
before?
tell him that we added a couple of whales to the lineup in
Yeah, yes.
in Rance and McKenzie.
Should have plenty of gas money.
I'm just hoping we got a big enough RV for these two.
Have you ever done the Sprinter before?
I've not. I've
I
ridden.
have.
I've been a passenger in the
Oh,
Sprinter.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. But
You're
I've never.
driving, I bet.
Coach, I mean, they
You
got
just
to put it.
said it.
I
on
know. I
somebody.
was
Where
trying
were
to put
you
it all
in the
together.
conversation?
I thought
Puking.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
I was over here producing.
Don't give yourself that much credit.
Did you think
dickhead.
about my arm hurts? Did you think about like a driver?
I did not. I think because he got put together so quick.
Off the cuff.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
right.
could find
So
one
quick.
before.
You know what?
Think
I'm
about
there,
scared
bro.
to drive that thing.
Yeah, but
So
think about
scared?
driving.
I'd be
It's
scared
not
to
driving
drive.
there.
Really?
It's driving back.
It's just so big.
It's driving back.
Yeah.
You're gonna crush it. You love to drive, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a driver.
Yeah, but are you a driver at midnight?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is right in his
yeah.
wheelhouse.
No,
Oh.
these are
Why
my
are you
missions,
driving at
bro.
midnight?
These are my missions. I love these.
Oh, like on the way back.
Yeah, like the
That's what drive there.
you
is not
spend
bad.
you spend
Drive
less
back, not
time. You
bad.
spend significantly less time at the destination than you do on the road.
Yeah.
Is my type of trip.
Oh, okay.
You know
Cigarette
what
trail.
I mean? Absolutely.
Oh,
Blasted
Absolutely.
cigs
Just
out
come
there.
in,
throw out some darts.
leave my. You know what I mean? Leave my stains.
Behind.
Get the hell out of there. Right?
Take it back.
Anybody see Jordy leave hours ago, bro? Hours ago.
You're not. You're
He's been on the
definitely.
road.
You're
Irish goodbye.
You're definitely not a goodbye guy.
No
way.
But I'm always driving. Always got my car, and people
I know
know
that.
that going in. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
you've built your.
I
rep.
may not
That's
even
it.
send out a complimentary text that I'm leaving. If you do not see me when I am on the path to the car, you are going to have to find a ride home. I just let
Wow.
you know that on the
Whoa,
way in.
so people are with you.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Every man for himself.
Wow.
That's crossing the line.
That's
a
a
little bit.
bold move right there. I would
You know
not.
what? You know it going in.
I don't mind.
Right?
I don't mind the.
You
I
know
don't-
it going in, so it's fair.
You got to give the nudge if you rode with me.
I
like,
don't,
bro,
I don't
I
mind
can't
the
promise
Irish-
that. I
I
cannot
don't mind the
promise
Irish
that.
goodbye if
I
like you
cannot
tell the
promise
host or whoever's there, not telling by like if. But if people are with me, hey bro, this is where we're going, and I'm letting you know we're leaving. If you hold
It's
me
fair,
up, you're
and I
gone.
understand the criticism, but I can't
Wow.
tell
But
you
I
that
will
I'm going
not
to change.
change it.
Yeah, right. I cannot.
Wow.
You're right. I am wrong, but I will continue to
don't
be
care.
wrong in this department.
Okay, hey, you know what?
Because-
You're stuck in your ways. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
That's
But
fine.
it's gotten to a point where
I
I
won't ride
I
with
show
you.
up solo. Exactly.
ride
with
Exactly. I mean, people know. Like, I mean, he's a dick. I'm not.
I won't leave you, but I'll give you my deadline when we're gone, and if we're not going, you want to stay.
That's
you're
probably
going
that's
your
probably the
Yeah.
fair way to handle that. That's probably the. That's
Because I was
probably
going
the
to
better
give
way
you, I was going to
handle
give you
that.
kudos because it's a testament to what you bring to the room. Like, oh, Jordy, like you notice when you're missing, and then you say you skate on your friend. So I don't want to give you too much of a
Yeah.
compliment, but the Irish goodbye kid played in your favor. Like, oh man, what's missing here? And it's like, oh, Jordy skated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it means you bring
Irish
something to the
goodbye.
table.
Get the text. Are you here?
Yeah.
Been gone, bro.
Been gone.
Shoot the picture back at the house in
Yeah.
the bed, like the fireplace. You know what I mean?
Feet up.
Game in the back.
Is that the universal? Like y'all use the Irish goodbye? I use Ninja Smoke. I drop Ninja Smoke.
What's that?
Ninja smoke. Is that kind of like
It's
you
like you
Same
know,
thing.
Ninja
Kinda like a-
drops the
like a
smoke and they
vanish.
disappear.
you
Yeah.
vanish?
Yeah, Ninja Smoke. Yeah,
I
Irish
like to
goodbye.
I've never heard anything but Irish goodbye.
Me either. I'll get down on this game with you though.
Do you know the Italian goodbye?
No.
You tell everybody
Pregnancy.
goodbye.
You never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah,
telling everybody
yeah.
you're back.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
bye.
that's kinda
Bye.
how my-
Hey, I'm leaving.
That's how
Come
my
give me
family
another
is.
hug.
Those people are annoying. To
My,
an extent.
my wife.
Like
Okay.
if you never leave. If it's at your own
Oh, you
house,
don't want to
yeah, yeah,
linger.
and they never leave.
My
like,
wife-
you
my
linger
wife tells
and
I
me-
agree.
everyone's
I
left.
agree.
Hey, we're
That's
leaving
annoying.
at we're
It's
leaving
more
at
on you
9:30.
than them though, because you know them. You know
Yeah.
the Italian
True,
goodbyers.
true.
But when
Right.
nobody's left and you're like kind
You
of
just throw that
taken
wall
out
Oh
up.
yeah,
of
but
it.
that's
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Savvy sold separately.
I'm about to get nude and walk around the house. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yes. You gotta have a feel for that moment. I'll leave
Yes.
early before I leave late.
100%.
When we're at
Yeah.
family
100%.
events, my wife says, "Hey, we're leaving at 9:30." Start telling people by 8:30.
Yeah.
Because it takes me. I have to go. If I tell my
Ah,
family by
Italian goodbyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
big
leave.
fam.
But I'm
Yeah.
gone. I'm
Yeah.
I'm
gone.
gone too, but I do tell everyone.
I have to-
I
I-
like to tell everyone.
That's
bye.
only my family. There's certain situations where I'm not telling anybody about it. And it's not
Yeah.
a mean thing. It's just the same thing. Like I'm not gonna get. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
If it's people
Or
I
I'll
really
say,
like, I
"Hey
want
boys,
to-
I'm out." Like give the at the door peace sign.
Yeah.
Give everybody
The
the goodbye
universe,
at one
just
time.
the
I'm
vacuum goodbye.
I'm gone.
You know what I mean?
I'm gone.
Everybody.
Thanks.
I'm
Thanks,
out.
bud. Thanks.
Does that-
I'm out.
That doesn't qualify as an Irish goodbye, though.
No, it does not.
That's
No,
still
that's not.
Now you're.
But that's still
now
that's,
you've been foiled.
right. But but that's even that might be even ballsier. Just be like, bro,
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
bye everyone. Like, oh, you're leaving?
No, I'm
Out the door.
leaving.
Yes. Can't
Yeah,
get me
that's,
back.
The car
that's
is
a big
running.
Move.
Yes.
That's a big move to just
Yeah.
announce it to the room.
That is.
Well, it's only
that's
my,
kind of a.
that's only my friends.
That's
only
a
my-
real FU move.
That's only
Yeah,
my
it
friends.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'd be
know
like,
all
hey,
of you are about to start talking about me.
And I'm
I'm leaving.
It is
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's like my friends. I'll sit next to the couch. To whoever I'm next to, I'm like, "Hey, I'm out. I'm about to leave." I tell the host bye, and then I walk out, and I'm like, "Hey,
So
boys,
let them spread
I'm
it.
out." Yeah,
Let
I'm
them
out. Like
spread
I'm not
it.
gonna
Yeah.
go and
No,
tell
I just talked to him. He said he was
bye,
leaving.
Get in conversations, and I'm out.
Yeah, that's
Pretty good play.
That's a good move for the. It depends
friends.
on the population.
It's the
Yeah,
friends.
how many people are there?
Savvy
Yeah.
still separately. Some
Yeah,
people don't
gotta
have that.
feel it out.
Yeah.
Gotta feel that thing out.
Yeah.
Maybe the best saying of 2021 that I picked up.
Savvy soul separately.
Savvy
I
sold
love it.
You
separately.
give it to Javi Sanchez, baby.
Savvy sold separately.
HWA, same thing. How to win awareness. That's a Ronnie Rants. He'll hit you with that
Baseball guys.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But they
Baseball
always
guys.
have the
They always got those
isms.
one-liners.
The isms.
So,
Yeah.
ooh, skip.
Yeah, right.
Well, they have a lot from Skip. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where all those guys.
Oh, it's their John Wooden.
Well, Ron's act is Skip.
He is
Right.
Skip.
I mean, he does
Right.
skip better
Skip?
than Skip
Yeah.
does skip.
Right.
Skip doesn't want to do Skip
Yeah,
anymore.
Skip's like, Ronnie, come do me.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Hold the
sorry.
reins,
Yeah,
me,
Coach.
Big guy.
Daily, we're brought to you by A-Bears Meats. Remember, A-Bears, located in Baton Rouge and in Geismar on Highway 73. Robert's Grocery Store, right next to Superior Bar and Grill, right there at the Kenilworth Shopping Center. A-Bears has about 700 square foot of space right there in Robert's Grocery Store. And then Highway 73, they got their standalone on in Geismar, right next to Dutchtown. Check them out online. abearsmeats.com is where you can find them. They're on social media. On Facebook and Instagram. Next week, we'll talk to Billy Embody. Embody's got a great write-up on Matt House, who is the new defensive coordinator for LSU. He comes over from the Kansas City Chiefs. How's the next couple of weeks going to work? How is he on the recruiting trail? We'll answer all of those questions for you. If you have any, jump inside of the chat app. We'll ask them to Embody coming up here at 8:15, next here on the Jordy Culotta show.
Hey, we're already past 8:15.
Hey.
Dude, that would be awesome.
See it up.
Dude, let's make some coffee and go walk around. Dude, that would be awesome.
See it up.
Dude, let's make some coffee and go walk around. Dude, that would be awesome.
See it up.
Matt House is your defensive coordinator for LSU. We will talk to Billy Embody, who's got a really good write-up.
Big
of
swing
House.
about Brian Kelly.
Was it, you think?
Yeah, big swing.
I thought you weren't sold this earlier.
No, swing and a miss, but it's a big swing.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you thought
No,
he
I'm
missed?
kidding. No, I'm kidding. I think it'll be fine. I just don't know much about the guy. They look.
I mean, it's good.
The only thing that I know about him, he looks exactly like Kentucky's defensive coordinator. Like, they look exactly alike. Goatee guy. That's a strike one for me.
Kentucky.
You're not a goatee guy?
Mm-mm.
You're more of a mustache guy, obviously.
Obviously.
Clearly.
But don't
Now, what if you...
I'm
yeah,
not a good
cum
you
catcher?
You didn't get a little soul patch.
a little cum catcher?
That's so gross.
I know.
Crumb catcher?
Take out that R.
David
Goatee's
will shave
more
and,
baseball,
like,
right?
leave that just
It
to make
depends on...
it
I
for
can't...
a
I mean,
minute.
yeah,
I'm
some
like,
guys
oh,
have
can't look at
goatees.
you.
Like, it just
No, you don't
depends
want
on the...
Is that your facial hair right there? Is that all you got?
What?
I mean, I'm
Who
more of
else
a
is
near.
Bro, he
it?
throws 90 and can dunk.
No, I mean, you,
I'm more
you
of a
can't grow
near.
a full beard.
No,
right?
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't get anything up here. It's
Yeah.
all underneath. It's all near.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's all what? What do you call it?
Neared neck beard. A neared.
A
Neared.
neared.
Oh.
I like that.
I've never heard
I'm a
that.
neared
Never
guy.
heard that either?
Mm-mm. I'm a neared guy.
You
too.
like
I
it
hate
there,
it.
I can't even grow a mustache.
Do you
Y'all
want
are
the beard?
smoother up
No.
here on
You don't.
I don't
That's
think
good.
so.
That's good.
I don't think
Because
so.
usually people that can't do the facial hair like
I
yearn
think-
for the facial hair, but you really don't.
No,
Yearn
I
for
think
facial
more would be. I think more. If anything, it'd be like the scruff more than the actual beard.
You want the shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If-
you know?
You
if
could
it
grow
came
a
in-
goatee.
I
you,
can't.
You could.
No.
Right here on the bottom.
On the bottom, it's
Yeah.
only the bottom
You
of
could
the
be one
chin.
of
He could get the
those
baseball
guys.
goatee.
But I can't get
Yeah.
anything above on the chin. Nothing on the chin.
Okay.
Oh,
It's all below the chin.
Or you can't on
Matt
your
Clement.
chin either, can you?
You could do the
Matt
Matt Clement. The pitcher. Remember, he had the nasty long goatee.
Matt Clement. How do I not know?
Pitched for the Cubs and the Red Sox. Come on, dude.
Matt Clement? Are you talking about Roger Clemens?
No, that's the Rocket. And he
Okay.
did the. He was
just did-
he was
just
way
did-
in
he
the
just
two.
did the-
I don't know, but he was way in the 2000s with the dyed hair.
Yeah.
Remember when Roger dyed his hair?
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
frosted tips.
Tough. I mean,
Well, then you had.
Was
then
that
you
his
had-
time during Houston?
yes,
Then
He
you
had
had Brian
frosted
Wilson
tips.
had the
Yeah.
beard. He was the first guy that had the big beard. He
the
put
machine.
shoe polish on it or whatever he did.
He was an absolute
Really?
star
Yeah,
in
he
social
was.
media.
He was.
Brian
Where'd he
Wilson,
go?
LSU.
I know
He was
that.
LSU
No,
guy.
but what happened to him?
I don't know what
Ever
happened. He
took-
was probably a decade too late. If
Or too
he's-
early.
I mean,
No, he
excuse
was
me,
right
too
on
early.
time.
But I'm saying, like, if he's like in the social media like boom of now, where
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
We
mean,
probably would have got in trouble doing that.
probably so.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He had a guy in a gimp suit walk around, like
Yeah, I
when
mean,
he would
he-
do video interviews.
I heard stories about him when he was here about trying to pop his UCL, trying to get Tommy John because they say he was going to redshirt. And he was just throwing weighted balls against the wall because they say he was going to redshirt. So if I'm a redshirt, I might as well get Tommy John. And then they had pitchers and they had to have him
John.
throw. And he ends up throwing like upper 90s as a pitcher and then ends up popping his Tommy John anyway.
Oh,
Crazy.
God, bro.
Crazy. Heard he's nuts.
Let's
He's
say
nuts.
Gardner Minshew.
I know he's nuts. Not hurt. I know he is.
Now
Gardner
I'm only
Minshew tried
looking
to
at
break
your
his
beard.
hand so he could get a medical red shirt.
What's that?
Now I can
Really?
only look at your
Like he
beard.
like hit
punch
it with
a
a,
wall?
I have no
he hit it with a
beard.
hammer.
I keep
Are
it.
you kidding? He hit his throwing hand
Yeah,
in
because
football
he
with
wanted to get a
hammer?
medical red shirt. That's how bad he wanted to stay on the team. He's like, if I can red shirt,
Not
they'll
his
have
throwing hand though, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it was
I mean,
throwing
that would be
hand.
very-
Yeah, that would be
Coach,
dumb. But
that'd be
I
very
mean,
dumb.
You got to throw the hammer with your right hand. You know what I mean? You probably miss it with your left hand.
When's
Just
the
get
last
someone
time?
else to do it.
When's the last time you shaved, Lloyd?
what?
Your face.
Manscaped, come on back. What's today?
Do you smoke?
I don't know.
Cigarettes?
Wednesday. Today's Wednesday.
Friday, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
So you literally will
What
not
do I look like?
have like you don't have anything when
Trash.
you're like
Trash. I mean, I am. I'm white trash, and I'm in
You are.
trouble.
Mine's almost been a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Yeah, I
Jordy's
don't
been
grow
like
much.
this morning.
No, mine's probably been.
I shaved on the last break.
Mine's probably been like 4 days, actually. 4 days.
Okay.
4 days, right before Christmas Eve.
All right, Billy Embody next. Here, let me dial him up.
Hold on.
No,
Here's
I
that.
thought we were doing that.
That
Yeah.
Clement, dude. You don't remember this guy?
That's his
don't.
real beard. Like
I'm about to
that's
pull
that
him up.
guy's real beard.
Yeah, this is the goatee I was talking about. Like this is the standard. Like if you
Speaking of goatee, go look at Jose Abreu's goatee. Go see what he does to it.
let me get this one up first.
Okay.
But who did you say did shoe polish on there?
Shoe
Oh,
polish.
this is me.
Didn't you say that?
It
Yeah,
was,
buddy.
uh,
Hold tight. Coming to you.
Brian Wilson.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's weird.
Shoe polish has to be
Ugh.
Carlos Boozer, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Ever.
Ugh.
Does
Absolutely.
he shave that in that
Ugh.
shape?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does this on
Like
purpose.
on purpose, you do that shape?
Hell of a picture.
It's like
Fly
an
the W,
upside
bro.
down mustache.
Yeah.
Fly the W.
Fly
It's
the
like
flag.
an inverted mustache.
Great
Wow.
game. Great place to catch a baseball game.
Oh, the best.
God.
The best.
Great place to play.
That's
Wish the Ricketts
terrible.
would
I couldn't
realize
get
that.
past that.
Stop rooting
2
Chicago
p.m.?
Cubs baseball.
Yeah.
WGN,
That's
baby.
what makes it great.
Billy Embody from 247, a great writer. He had a breaking report over at 247 and a write-up over Matt House, who is the new defensive coordinator for LSU. House has got SEC experience. He comes off of an NFL defense that won a Super Bowl while he was teaching and coaching that position group. Billy Embody joins us now here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Merry belated Christmas, Bill, and Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All the holidays. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Hell yeah. Before we get to LSU Auburn basketball this afternoon, can't get you out of here without getting some thoughts from you on that. Give me your impressions of Matt House being named new LSU DC by Brian Kelly. What were your what was your thoughts?
I really like the hire. I mean, first of all, Kentucky fans were really jumping at him to be brought back if LSU had hired Brad White, which I think says a lot as far as what people think of him and you know, the job he did setting up Kentucky's defense to be one of the better ones in the SEC, especially in terms of what they do with talent. Kansas City obviously won a Super Bowl the year prior, and he's got a Super Bowl ring with them. And
First
so he
review
brings
done underwater.
Billy, hold tight. Let me get you in a better cell area. You're kind of popping in and out, and I want to hear everything that you have to say about Matt House. So let me see if we can't get him back into a better. Can you hear us, Bill?
He's totally gone now. That was on his way out.
You got me now?
Oh, we got you, buddy. Hell of a comeback there.
Wow.
Hell of a
From
comeback.
the top rope.
Wow. We
Took
think you
it
got.
off Wi-Fi, jumped on the cellular data. We're good now.
Okay,
there we
okay.
go.
All right. I knew there was something
There we
behind it.
go.
Pick up what you were talking about with House. Keep going.
If Kentucky wanted to bring him back if Brad White had left for LSU, which anytime you kind of look at these coaching hires, whenever, you know, and there's no data to back this up probably, but whenever a school is losing a coach, you could kind of tell ahead of time maybe how this one's going to go based on the reaction of the school. And I thought as Kentucky fans were watching the Brad White and LSU rumors that they were wanting Matt House back said a lot. He set up that defense to be one of the better ones in the SEC. And I think for LSU to bring in somebody that has SEC experience, has done more with less, realistically, with Kentucky, and then has the Super Bowl pedigree now with the Chiefs. He really has developed some, I would say, overlooked talent into being great players. Coached Aaron Darnold at Pitt. He just has a really good resume as far as being a really good football coach. You know, Brian Kelly tabbed Mike Elko at Notre Dame and got him, and he turned into one of the best defensive coordinators in the country and just took that Duke job. So I think as a recruiter, he's got the SEC experience. I wouldn't say he's been in a position to land some of those elite guys like we've seen, like LSU has the ability to land every year. But he's a really sound football coach. He's got multiple years of experience doing more with less, and I think that says a lot. And so it's kind of like Dave Aranda. You stick him with LSU talent and see what he can do. And Dave Aranda ended up being one of the best defensive coordinators in the country and becoming the Baylor head coach.
He passed on Auburn and Tennessee last season. Was he waiting for a big-time job to get back into college? Was he waiting on something, or did LSU lure him out of the NFL? What did you make of him getting back into college?
Well, I think one thing is just the brand of LSU. You know, Auburn was going through a transition. Tennessee is certainly going through a transition and could have, you know, the NCAA sanctions, so that might have played a part in it. You know, this is somebody that played for Nick Saban at Michigan State as well. So, you know, maybe a little bit of a Scott Woodward connection there as far as, you know, him and Brian Kelly working together on you know, who they can target, who they can throw a pile of money at. I'm sure he's going to be very well compensated. And this is, you know, one of the positions in college football that we've seen it. If you do a good job, you can parlay it into a head coaching job. You know, Dave Aranda did a really good job for many years and now has Baylor, you know, rolling in the Big 12. So I think Matt House is probably ready to be a head coach. He's got college experience. He's got NFL experience. I think his next stop, if he does a really good job at LSU, is being a head coach. And he's got the pedigree that, you know, you get a shout out from Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, that's no joke as far as the type of player or type of person you are and the type of coach.
You get any idea on Brian Kelly throughout this process? I know that he's kind of methodically and very strategically putting this coaching staff together on his own timeline, but have you heard anything about his recruiting ability to get these guys interested in these spots and being able to close these guys up? It seems like he's just kind of going down a list and filling these guys and checking them off.
Yeah, I think there are some like Frank Wilson that make a ton of sense, like legitimizing his ability to recruit in Louisiana. Brad Davis made a lot of sense, keeping him on board as offensive line coach. Terry Cooks has had a lot of experience in the SEC and across the country, with really strong results. And obviously there's a lot of trust there between Brian Kelly and Kerry Cooks. So you see a little bit of some connections at play here. And then with Brian Kelly, he's had a lot of the same staff throughout his career. So, once a lot of those guys stayed at Notre Dame, he had to go outside the box and really, I think, look at his list and say, okay, where can I go and find the best guys available? And often, when you target certain coaches and maybe they say no, I mean, we don't really know exactly what happened with Brad White and LSU, but, Brian Kelly probably picked his brain to, okay, all right, if you're not going to be the guy, who are some guys that maybe you think, and just picking the brains of people across the country can usually lead to a really good hire. We'll see if Matt House is that for LSU. A lot of people are high on the hire, and like I mentioned, Tyrann Mathieu shouted him out. But as far as building the staff overall, I think there are people that he's waiting for to make decisions. Matt House was one of those coaches that he, even last week before Christmas, Matt House broke as the guy that LSU was targeting once Brad White left Baton Rouge following his interview. And, that really didn't change over the course of the holidays, and we didn't hear anyone else pop up. I think there were some rumors here or there that maybe over Christmas some people tied themselves over with, but Matt House, as far as being heavily reported, that was the guy. And with the Chiefs still in the playoffs, he's going to coach out through the rest of the season. Maybe he's targeting an offensive coordinator off of one of the college football playoff teams. Denbrock over at Cincinnati, Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator there, has been with Brian Kelly in the past. That's a name that's been floated and has been targeted, and we haven't really heard much on the offensive coordinator search outside of that. And that makes me believe that maybe come New Year's Eve or January 1, we might be able to hear something on that front, if it is indeed Mike Denbrock, because all is quiet on the offensive coordinator front. It would make a lot of sense for Mike Denbrock to be the target, and then once Cincinnati's done playing, they can go from there and really try to approach him and see if he's interested in coming, if that's the case.
You get an idea of what present day is like around LSU football right now, with practice going on the Ponderosa, coaching staff trying to build and get a firm grip on what they're going to look like, recruiting still in high speed and still trying, searching the portal, keeping guys out of the portal. Do you get an idea of what life is like around the LSU football program right now?
They're in the tough spot of having to play January 4th. I mean, that's tough. So you have to give the guys off for the holidays, and with the COVID cases shutting down a few bowls, I think there's certainly some worry that maybe LSU might be in that boat. They're going to be testing players, throughout the week and see where they're at numbers wise. The way this thing's going, it wouldn't surprise me if there was a positive test or a few of those, and then that puts things in a precarious spot for the Texas Bowl. But on the bright side, the CDC changing that to the 5-day isolation and testing and all of that, maybe that changes how they approach the bowl game as far as what to do if they do get positive tests and things like that. There's around 50-something scholarship players available, and so they really don't have much margin for error. But the players just got back on Tuesday. The staff's been back since the beginning of the week, back at work. The portal's going to be big overall. The portal's going to be a long, long process. And then there's no on-campus visits until January 13th, and that also really lines up with the end of the coaches convention. We'll see, the college football season be over. Maybe Matt House is making his way down to LSU if the Chiefs are done playing. Some of those things will come together, and I think Matt House will be working on his staff a little bit more and trying to finalize that. But for now, it's really the new coaches and the ones that are retained working together on recruiting as best they can. The current coaching staff that's in place is going to coach out this bowl game, and there's a lot of GAs involved and analysts being promoted and things like that. But they're going to get back at it this week and really start bearing down on Kansas State as best they can.
Seems like Brian Kelly and I guess now Matt House will have a chance to, but they've made a really good impression on Jacoby Matthews, right?
Yeah, Jacoby Matthews is kind of a mystery of what he's going to do this weekend at Under Armour All-American game. He originally said he was going to commit January 2nd. He was kind of touch and go as far as if he was going to follow through with that. And even if he did, he said he wanted to take official visits. You know, he had to back off taking that Alabama visit with the state championship game. Texas A&M is still heavily in the mix here. It wouldn't shock me at all if he ended up at LSU, Alabama, or Texas A&M. And even if he makes a decision on Sunday, he could end up still taking visits because from what I've heard, he did not sign during the early signing period. And, Florida's now in the mix as well with Corey Raymond over there. So there's a lot of play with Jacoby Matthews. And then Harold Perkins is another one that's set to announce this weekend as well.
Is LSU should they expect any surprises with All-American games on the horizon?
I think a nice surprise would be Jacoby Matthews committing, quite honestly. Just the way he was kind of not standoffish, but non-committal as far as his plans to commit. So if you wanted to make a decision, that'd be big for LSU if he did jump on board. I don't have much confidence at all in Harold Perkins at this moment ending up at LSU, but that's one of those ones that, the way it's kind of gone, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he ended up at LSU, at Texas or Texas A&M. I mean, that's just kind of how his recruitment's gone. We've heard all these rumors here or there of, is he going to commit? Is he going to make a decision? In the fall, he even admitted he was close to, a decision, but ended up, going through with the January 2nd commitment date. And this is one where, you could get surprised by, but I think Texas A&M holds a lot of confidence. And so maybe just a little bit of, hold out a little bit of hope, but I'm not too bullish on LSU's chances there.
LSU basketball will be the centerpiece of the college basketball world this afternoon at 6 o'clock when they travel into Auburn Arena and tip it off versus War Eagle. This is a top 16 matchup on paper, but feels like a top 10 matchup in real-world college basketball. How do you like LSU, who's undefeated, going into an 11-1 hostile environment against Auburn this afternoon?
Yeah, this is one of those games that you're glad that arenas are full and college basketball and that environment is back. One thing for LSU, Tari Eason has a chance to really, shoot himself up draft boards today. He's expected to be back from what we've heard, which would be a huge boost. He had that back injury, and he's going to be ready to go. This is kind of what LSU's been building towards, right? This is this is where the defense can shine if they are who they've played like they are. Analytically, they're one of the best defenses, if not the best, in college basketball. And this is a great chance to prove it. Jabari Smith Jr., former five-star, is an elite player. That'll be a heck of a matchup watching Darius Days and probably Tari Eason and Ethan Reed go against him. He's super athletic. He's a problem. This is a game that, when Will Wade took over, he in the first couple of years, especially as he was building, these are the type of games that LSU, wants to be playing. You come to LSU to play games like this, and that's what I'm watching the most tonight as they take on Auburn. That's a really tough place to play, but both teams are really, really skilled. I think we're in for a treat tonight, no matter how it ends up.
247 Sports is the website. Go 247. Billy Embody's got some great write-ups over there, including some draft previews, some bowl previews between LSU and Kansas State, and a really nice, in-depth, informative article about Matt House, who was just named LSU's defensive coordinator by Brian Kelly officially on Monday. Great work as always, Bill. Enjoy the new year. We'll be touching in soon. Thank you and have a good one.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Always. There is Billy Embody checking in, who covers LSU recruiting basketball, football. Does a great job. Make sure and follow him on Twitter at Billy Embody and follow his work at 247 Sports as always. And as always, we're brought to you by RMB Builders. If you missed any of the show, if you missed any of our interviews, if you want to go back and check out any of the podcasts, all of that is compliments of our friend Rhett Bourgeois and RMB Builders. RMB-Builders is the website, phenomenal website. Take you around a lot of the projects that they have finished. They can help you with a custom designed home. If you need any type of refurbishment done around your current home or office, they can help you with commercial work as well, as they're licensed in that arena too. So get in touch with them, rmb-builders.com. They've helped us out with just about everything. We flooded, they helped us out. We're moving into a new studio, they helped us out. We were trying to get everything set up in the old studio, they helped us out. RMB can do anything really that you need around the house from a construction standpoint. And if you need some handiwork, use the promo code.
That
Jordy
should be their promo
Culotta
code.
show.
Handy job.
Yeah.
Promo code handy.
Yeah. Red called me during that. He's like, bro, I've gotten 2 calls today about extra services. The fuck did you tell him this morning, man? I said, Red, I just mentioned the hand jobs. I mean,
I'm out that game.
I thought we were growing the business, for God's sakes, man. Just
expanding.
Yeah.
I know this is a $30,000 project, but if I give you an extra $100, what happens?
The Patriots get a new stadium?
Right. RMB Builders, rmb-builders.com. All right, we got to cut out of here. We got stuff moving today. We're heading to Auburn, Alabama. Good stuff's happening over at the Noodle, at the new DL. We appreciate everybody helping, supporting. Remember, movetheudl.com is up and operating. That's the website if you got it and you don't mind. There's the couch being moved yesterday.
Who took this picture?
Noah.
Look at Ron over there.
Look at Ron.
He's
Ron
like,
was
I don't know.
Saluting the gravel.
It's on
He
social
is.
media grind over there, dude.
Wow.
Ron, it's standing up straight, bro. I'm telling you, a hell of a soldier, Ron
Salute,
Riggs.
dude. Look at that.
Look at
You're
Ronnie.
right.
I really
That's
want someone.
amazing.
I really want someone to put. That was right before we lost gas. Right out of
Yeah,
gas.
right. That's about the
There's
last.
probably gas there,
That's
dude.
the last gallon right there.
Oh, there's definitely gas
of
there.
Matuk's of Matuk's car yesterday.
I wish you had the video. Wish we could post. We should probably post it on social
Social?
media. Yeah.
Oh, the little rod in the back?
Yeah, a little right in the back. You know, we got the.
Nice
we
top.
just
I
beat the
watched it
rain.
yesterday. It's very entertaining.
Make sure and hit the like button, share button, comment button before you head out of here. Have a great day. Stay safe on the road, and we'll be back. Or we will not be back with you tomorrow morning.
No,
as we're moving.
Oh.
no, we're
We're
not.
moving.
Find out today.
Yeah,
Is
we'll
the
see.
man coming?
Yeah.
The man that said the man a few words?
Yes.
Good. That's
He's
who we
in.
need to talk to.
The man.
Um,
the man. The man.
The wolf.
Man, the wolf.
Our wolf.
Pondered, he pondered,
he
he pondered,
did.
then he spoke. And we're like, thank
Yeah.
you.
And when he
Perfect.
spoke, we listened.
We
We'll
did.
flip the
Yeah.
whole deal.
I walked in there. I was like, whoa, this is different.
But it felt good.
The wolf has spoken.
Flows better.
Yeah.
First
Flow.
time meeting.
Tightening up his bow tie on the way out. Yeah, yeah.
Cigarette, dropped it on the ground.
I have your lighter. Keep it.
You do.
Thank you.
Irish
Have a
goodbye
great
and a lighter
day.
thief.
Go Chevrolet.
Frick.
Miller's RV. We'll be seeing you here in about an hour and heading to Auburn, Alabama. We're heading northeast. We'll see you in a little bit. Pull them through. Boot up. Have a great day.
Boot up.
Boot up.
Can we get the lighters? Instead of lighters, I want matches. Let's start doing matches.
I got the
Bring the no, not the long matches. I want the match book.